Enlightenment, to me, I had this epiphany. I was going through kind of a difficult time a few weeks back. And every time we have a difficult moment or every time we get triggered by things, there's really an opportunity within that to learn. And we start to recognize that the universe isn't happening to me, it's happening for me. So then I have to ask myself the question, if I am the creator of all that is, that I'm experiencing, and the rest of the world around me is just a reflection of what's inside of me that I don't know of, my unconscious aspects, then I have to ask myself the question, why did I choose what I chose when I go through a difficult situation? Then that changes the context of everything. What am I here to learn? And as I was contemplating this existence, because I was noticing the world around me was seemingly getting kind of strange on a number of levels, and we've probably all noticed this to a certain extent, right? I mean, it's like, wow, how did everything get so bizarre? It just seems like, now I was just watching this thing where, there was a government whistleblower that was saying that she went to work for the Biden administration and went to work at border control and to help all these Honduran children. And then she realized that the U.S. government was actually complicit in this sex trafficking scheme. And she was testifying on this to Congress. And I was just watching it on C-SPAN. It's not supposed to be sort of a partisan thing, and she's actually a Democrat. So I was starting to think to myself, why is it that all these super strange fringe aspects are showing up in the world around me? And I realized that the reason it's still showing up in the world around me is because largely I've stopped judging the other things, and these are the things that are still left that I'm still judging.
New judgments, yeah.
So that's what happens. We attract everything we judge until we no longer judge what we attract. And so when the world starts to get strange, it's because it's like we're talking about the fringes now, that we're not conscious that we're still judging in some way, shape, or form. So for me, my life has been a series of collecting of facts. And I thought, I'll collect this fact here, and I'll take this fact of knowledge there, and I'll travel all around the world, and I'm going to understand as much as I can, collect as many facts as I can, and be like a guy that's going to be on Alex Trebek's, trivia type show. And then I realized that what I had been collecting was not actually facts, but more like facets. And I was always constantly searching for better discernment to be a better judge of the situation, whatever the situation was. I prided myself on being able to make good decisions in business. I prided myself on being able to make good decisions in relationships. I prided myself on being pragmatic. I prided myself on all these things that I decided my persona should be. And our persona just means our mask, right? That's the Latin word for mask. And so as I kind of looked at all of those things and I started saying to myself, okay, maybe the search that I was on for seeking perfection and seeking truth, and objective truth. There must always be some objective truth. Maybe the only true ism or the only whole truth could be the sum of all possible subjective perspectives of that truth, because I realized that transition from fact to facet. And as I realized that, I started thinking, well, maybe that's the entire backdrop of this third and fourth dimensional experience. And that backdrop being one of, we are here because of scarcity, because of time, because of all the things. There's always a clock on what we're doing, right? And time is the ultimate duality. We have past and we have future, but we can never really experience now, right? So I started thinking to myself, well, what if the transcendence of duality is actually realizing that the sum of all possible perspectives is the only possible truth? And then you have to ask yourself the question, why would that be? Why are we here to experience all these different facets of a prism? And I started thinking to myself, okay, well, if that's the case, then there must be some hidden story or some hidden gem right behind all of it. And I realized that that hidden gem behind all of it is love. It's love itself. Because the universe itself is a philomath. Philomath simply means a lover of learning. The universe expands through our eyes. It expands through our unique perspectives. In the last podcast we did, you asked me at the very end, another tough question, what's the most valuable thing in the universe? And I said, you are. Because each of us has a unique perspective to add to the universe. So it allows the universe to observe itself through our unique eyes of confirmation bias, our unique eyes of perspective, our unique eyes of experiential learning. There will never be another André. There will never be another Robert Grant. It will never, ever exist again, and never has existed in the past, in the context of the past. And so when you consider that, then you start thinking that maybe this understanding that love is the basis of all of it, this is why love is the only thing that can transcend duality. Love is the only thing that can transcend time. And as a result, I started thinking maybe enlightenment is really just when the expression of love that flows from our hearts supersedes and exceeds the desire that we have for that one objective truth. That's when we've achieved enlightenment. And I fundamentally believe that. I'm not saying that love supersedes truth. I'm saying that the only truth that exists is the love behind all of it.